Hello guys, welcome back. Vitus here. Today we bring to the channel SCYTHE or SCYTHE Digital Edition. This is a tabletop game that you can buy it physically and is priced for being one of the best tabletops games in the world. So this is the 2.1.0 and this is a game, very interesting game, hex game, in which you are going to manage resources, economy, and you are going to manage as well troops and armies. So it is very, very nice. Trust me, at the beginning, it has a very slight medium learning curve, but it's worth it. So let's begin. We're going to go for a new game. And of course, we have the factions here. We're going to leave everything as it is here. This is going to represent each of the factions that you can find in the game. Just to give you an overview of what you can get, you have Albion, which represents England, Nordic, which represents Scandinavia, of course, the Rusviet, Togawa, Japanese, and the Germans, and random options. You have everything here. Now, there are some of those that are part of expansions. In this instance, the Japanese and the English are part of expansions. There's one expansion, I think. In the physical game, there's the Fenris game, or the Fenris something that it's another expansion for the actual tabletop. But yeah, so you select here. This is the player one. We are Polania. Polania is of course Poland, and it has hashtag here, the bear. The pictures here are representing the main characters. So let's get on with it. Let's have a look at this. So here we have a little bit of information that you can read about the players, the secret objectives. We have the faction ability. Each faction has an ability. This one is a meander that pick up to 2 options per encounter card. Then you have these. This is actually the things that you are going to get at the beginning. These are 6 coins, 3 popularity, 3 combat cards, and 2 power. So let's find out what is this all about. Okay, but very quickly, here you have your characters. There's the other character from the Germans, and the other character from the Crimeans. You have these little guys here that are population, and this is pretty much population management, economy, and warfare. You have a lot of hexes. You have in the center of the table, you have the factory, which is a impressive hex that will give you a huge advantage in terms of technology, and you're going to be able to unlock technologies that are going to be very, very powerful. Then you have a lot of hexes. Some of those, for example, here there's a village, there's a farm here, there's forest here, there are different types, mountains, and you have water. Now, water is important. This is the lake, this is the river. Why is water important? Well, because not all of your figurines are going to be able to cross the river. So we're going to talk about river crossing, which is called river walk, it's called here, and we're going to talk about river crossing. For example, the main characters, such as this one, can cross rivers, and the amazing thing is that you can put your population inside the main character or the MECHS. Now, let me show you something. The MECHS are here, and these are machines. These are incredible, powerful machines that represent this fictional world in which each country has a very different name, but slightly different. Some of the factions have pretty obvious names, but they are fictional. And in this world, you as well have the ability to create mechs, which are incredible, powerful, destructive machines that are going to help you to advance in your match. So these are the abilities of those guys. You always have these four, because you can have just 4 of these guys. And then you have the objectives. Each time you begin the match, you have different objectives. For example, here it says have 1 factory card and 0 upgrades. And the diversified production here controls at least 1 of each primary terrain type, with at least 1 worker on each at the end of your turn. And this way you're going to get that. Now, why to bother with all of this? Well, because you need to gain stars. And each time you manage to do something that is represented here, over here, up in the table, you're going to see, for example, here it says that if you build four mechs, you're going to get 1 star. If you build 4 buildings, you're going to get a star. If you build 8 farmers, you're going to 8 farmers, let's say 8 population, you're going to get 1 star. And this is representing battles. 1 battle that you won, you get a star. 16 power, that is represented here, you get a star. 18 popularity, which is represented here, you get a star, so on and so forth. So you have to earn the maximum of 6 stars. Earn stars by making out various stats. 6 star from any player ends the game. So it's virtually, when you get the 6th star, it doesn't matter how you fare on the game, you win. It's game over for the other factions. So that's something to take into account. That is the interesting thing here. Then here we have popularity, and every time you increase popularity, you can see there's a badge here, and every time you get into that, you get a lot of interesting boosts or buffs, as you want to name them. Okay, so what is this? So you have turns. So the first turn, you can see end turn, beautiful, but you have here this. Each of these blocks, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, is on the actual physical game. It's a mat. It's a small rectangle with options. It's something like cards. You get different combinations of cards each time you begin, but they are all as well tied to the factions, if I'm not mistaken. So the first one, it is a combination of trade and upgrade. Bolster, you can bolster power, which is represented here, as I mentioned before. You can move, you can produce, and down here you have the option to upgrade. You're going to see what is this about. It says here pay 3 oil to unlock an extra benefit for any top row action with this. So this is going to, this symbol here, the cogs, are going to upgrade here and are going to make basically the action is going to be less expensive and the benefit is going to be greater. But you're going to see this as we play. This is going to be more obvious. At the beginning, as I mentioned before, it's a little bit complicated, but you can trust me that you're going to get it. Perhaps you need a little bit more than 1 match to get it. Some people get it in the first match. The thing is that we are having fun, and you're going to see what is this all about. So let's begin. We're going to select, we can select here move, as I mentioned before, move, produce, bolster, and trade. Produce, as you can see here, produce in 2 territories. So it's better for you to have these guys in 2 territories. If you expand them in 2 territories, it's going to be better, because if you have the guy in 1 territory, it's going to waste 1 territory. But never mind. Each worker on these territories may produce 1 item of the territory's type, and this is the type, the territory type. It produces different items. So you can as well barter with things, with trade, and this is your actual things that you can expendable things that you have. So you have money, you have popularity, as I mentioned before, and you have power, this and that. This is for fighting. And we're going to to reach that point. Okay, so far so good. I think this explanation has been a little bit tough, but bear with me, you're going to enjoy it. Okay, so the first action I'm going to do is to move because I want the farmers to be here. Let's remember that here it says that if we get the objective of controlling at least one of each primary terrain type with at least one worker on each at the end of your turn, you are going to get that. Now, these are very tough objectives, to be honest, because here it says have one factory card and 0 upgrades, which is by getting here in the middle. It's a little bit difficult, but we're going to try to do it. Each type of place, for example, tundra, we have mountain here, we have here, and this. I think this is enough because there's no other options here. This is just what we can get. Each type, these. Ah, of course, we see this. You're going to see what is this. These are tunnels. Tunnels, and as you can see here, for the purpose of the move action for any unit, all tunnel territories are considered to be adjacent to each other. You can see another tunnel here, so you're going to jump from here to here. This is impressive. Very good. Very well thought. Okay, let's begin. The first thing I'm going to do is going to move. I'm going to confirm to move 2 units. The first thing, as you can see here, there's nothing here. I'm not going to pay anything just for the first move. So I'm going to move this and this guy here. And why I move these guys here? Because I want to produce more population. And that's it. I cannot do anything else. So let's end the turn. It's very, very interesting. You're going to like it. So now that we have these 2 guys here, now something important. We used this card. Let's call it a card for the sake of explanation. And we took this card, and each time you take one, you cannot take the same the next turn. So you are it's mandatory for you to take another one. The thing is that you can always take, if you have the possibility to do something that is down here, for example, here in bolster, you have the possibility to deploy, you can always do the one that is up and then down. But if, for example, you want to do this, but you do this one up here, you cannot do the one that is on the other card, if that makes sense. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is produce. I'm going to produce in 2 territories, but this time it's going to produce in 1 territory, and I'm going to produce 2 workers. I want more workers, and this is something that is going to be useful. So let's end the turn. Okay, so now we can see how this guy produced a little bit of oil. This guy produced a little bit of oil and food. This is food, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. It says paid one. I think it's food. Okay, never mind. So now we have 4 workers here. Now, do you see this token? This is an encounter token. Each encounter will present you with the 3 options to choose from. Only characters can trigger an encounter. Once they enter a territory with an encounter, they cannot move any further that turn. Any resources, structures, mechs, or workers gained will go on to the same territory as your character. So this is triggered. You can see here, you can see over here, all over the map, there are these encounter tokens, and they are triggered just by the main character. These are the main characters. So we already know that. So now, here, because we produced the turn before, we cannot produce now. So what I'm going to do, we need to pay power the next turn we produce. As you can see, this thing has become, has been added over here with power, if that makes sense. So then what I'm going to do is to trade. Well, I'm going to trade because if you want mechs, you have to, here you see deploy, you need 3 of these to get a mech. So for example, here I'm going to trade, I'm going to confirm, we're going to pay 1 coin, and I'm going to trade 2 metal. Metal you can produce here on mountains, but we can trade that. It's just like bartering with that. So we're going to end the turn. It's important to get those metals. You're going to see why just in a few seconds. So now what I'm going to do is to produce more. I want to produce more, and it depends on how many things you have on each hex, because now we have 4 guys, we can produce 4 guys, obviously. So then we have a lot of guys here, which is beautiful. But let's remember, we paid 1 power, and there's a way to get power. How do we get power? Well, pretty much very easy. We get power here. You see these? You get power here. If you pay 1 coin, you gain 2 power. But what we're going to do now is again to barter, or perhaps to move. I think it's going to be good to move. I'm going to confirm the movement, and I'm simply going to move this guy here, and I'm going to move 1 guy. We need here, we need here, we need, yeah, we cannot move more. We move 1 guy here to be able to be near the tundra and the mountain. But to go there, we need to cross the river, and we need to cross the river with this guy. Now, let me show you. Let me show you. Where is it? Where's the bonus here? Ah, there you go. The river walk. This is the river walk. If you click here, you can see the arrows that represents the ability to cross the river. So it's embedded with this guy, and you're going to see that in action in a few seconds. And just right now we end the turn. We just moved that guy. I wanted to move this guy because he can defend these guys. If this guy reaches here, then these guys are screwed and they have to run away. And then if this guy is on the hex that the other enemy is, then a battle ensues. Okay, so we are getting near into what we need. So now what I'm going to do is to barter with these. Let me see. Yeah, of course. I'm going to pay 1 coin to get another resource. And here I'm going to get oil. Oil. Yeah, oil is important for this. This is little thing here. It's very important. You're going to see why. Let's end the turn. Okay, and now finally we are ready to begin the creation of the mech. So the first thing I'm going to do is to pay 1 coin to get the power that we lost. So we pay 1 coin to get the power. And with these 2 powers, you can see how this went from 1 to 3, and we have 3 now, but we have 1 coin less, and now I'm going to pay 3 metal to get the mech. And there we are. The mech is going to be, we're going to use 1, 2, 3, and we get the river walk mech ability, and we're going to put him here. There you go. Beautiful. And you have we have 1 star. Why? Because we have 8 workers, and that's something important, because now we have 1 star in comparison with the other guys. So yeah, you can see how everything moves as the time advances. So we are getting very, very nice here, and everything is going well. So this is it for now. Hopefully you are enjoying this. Now, I understand that at first glance you can say, whoa, this is so difficult. Yeah, it could be. It could be a little bit confusing, but not difficult. Hopefully you are going to get the knack of it at the end of this match. For now, I'm going to leave it here. Don't forget to give a like, subscribe to my channel if you are enjoying these. This is Victus. See you in the next one.